What's up, guys? Roberto Parker here with Innovative Sports Training. This is a dual simulcast for strength, speed, agility, quickness, and get lean, get tone. So we're going to get 2 in 1 here today. So if you're a member of both, this topic will apply to you. Today's topic is, are you training for fitness? Are you training for a sport, a specific type of sport? Now there is a difference. There are some commonalities as well, which I'm going to go over. But I think this is a good topic because you've got to understand that if you're an athlete, a competitive athlete, let me back up. We are all athletes. Look at my Health Detective series on we are all athletes. Recreational athlete, occupational athlete, or competitive athlete. I would even maybe throw in another one, elite athlete, a world-class Olympic type athlete, a NFL, NBA, Major League Baseball player who's at the top of the game. Maybe they're the most valuable player of the league. So there's different ways of training for different dynamic and different groups, different demographics. Most people will fall into the demographic of training for life, which I call functioning. So let's go over a few details here, shall we? Now, training for fitness, the most important thing is you are training for health. Fitness to me is the definition of fitness is you're able to function, you have good blood circulation, you have good energy, your muscles are functioning, your joints are functioning, and you have just energy to maintain life every day without being in pain, without being sick. That to me is a definition of fitness. But you must have good health. That is your number one goal as a fitness person who wants to be fit, is to have good health. You can't do life's functions without being healthy, period. Movement, 60 minutes a day or more. Now, I could spend a lot of time on this, and I should have labeled this activity, but activity and movement are very, very tied together. You want to be active and moving every day of the week if you can, at least 60 minutes a day. And one way to do that is measure your steps. I'm going to say 8,000 steps a day or more. And that's bare minimum, 8,000. You should try to get up to 10 to 12 to 15,000 steps a day if you can. That's going to take you about an hour to 3 hours to do that. Now, it doesn't have to be just consecutive nonstop for 3 hours. You're just on the move throughout the day. Move for about a half hour, get in your car, get out of the car, you're moving around for another hour. So you add it up that way. Just use a pedometer and measure how many steps you're taking every day. But just move every day. It could also include maybe just riding a bike or something, but you're moving. Strength. I'm a big believer in strength. Too many people believe that all you need to do is just work on cardio equipment. I totally disagree with that. Strength is more important than cardio. You can improve your cardiovascular abilities by certain types of strength modalities by doing circuit training. But you will not improve strength by doing cardio. And muscles produce myokines. Myokines are like messenger hormones that are sent out to your body's organs. So you need to develop muscle. As a matter of fact, muscles in itself really are organs when you think about it, because you have to strengthen them and they produce hormones. They produce messengers that go to different parts of the body. So strength is important. Nutrition, that's a no-brainer. That's big. You got to put the right fuel in the system, guys. I spend a lot of time talking about nutrition. I spend more time talking about nutrition than anything else with people because that is a biggie. That's where a lot of people are lacking. You got to get enough sleep. That's important. You got to go to bed at a decent hour. Don't go to bed at 2 o'clock in the morning and sleep at 10 o'clock in the morning and think that's proper, because the body, believe it or not, we are, as human beings, we follow the sun. And the body will start to shut down when the sun goes down. Cortisol levels will start to drop. And that's when your body shifts its circadian rhythms. So if you stay up to 2 o'clock in the morning, but you sleep at 10 o'clock in the morning, but you say, hey, I got my 10 hours of sleep, you've just eliminated about 4 or 5 hours of really good detoxing and growth hormone production. Because around 9 or 10 o'clock, the body will start to shut down. But if you're fighting that, you're staying up, your cortisol levels are remaining too high, and you're not getting enough growth hormone production. So that's crucial. Supplements as needed. I'm not real big on taking a ton of supplements, but there's one supplement I believe that most are lacking in. It's called vitamin D, which is really a hormone. Now, vitamin D has been shown to help prevent cancer and some other disorders of the body, especially if you're living in an area where you don't get a lot of sun in the wintertime. You need to take some vitamin D supplements. I take it myself in the winter because I'm outdoors a lot in the summer. So take some vitamin D. I recommend you contact me to enroll in taking what is called the micronutrient test, in which we will assess, it's a blood test, we will assess what your vitamin D, your vitamin B, your vitamin C, your vitamin A, and all the crucial minerals of the body, what levels you're at. Because those levels, when they become off, it throws off your macronutrient levels, which is protein, carbohydrates, and fat. Your goal is just to function in life, to be fit. You're not really training for any particular sport necessarily. Your sport is life's function. Being able to get up, go to work, make a living, take care of your family, and enjoy life. That's it. That's your sport. Now, having said all that, maybe you want to dip into doing some adventure runs or some triathlons, or maybe participate in a pickup league basketball game. Now you're getting more into the sports side of training of things. Once again, the goal is still health, guys. If you're not healthy, you cannot play a sport. $1 million athletes have to be healthy. Otherwise, they can't get on the field or get on the court or get on the baseball diamond or get in the boxing ring. You have to have good health. As an athlete, you have to be very mobile in what you're doing. If you're not very mobile, you can't play. Just because you're strong doesn't mean you're mobile, by the way. And mobile is a combination of balance and flexibility. And most important, you got to have skill of that sport. That is probably the biggest difference between training for sports and training for fitness. You have to be able to perform the sport. And just because you're healthy and just because you're fit doesn't mean you're going to have the skill. You can walk 4 miles a day, 5 miles a day over here in the fitness category, but that doesn't mean crap when it comes to, can you swing a baseball bat? Can you throw a fastball at 90 miles an hour? Can you throw a football down the field or wide receiver? Can you get in the ring and perform MMA type skills? Doesn't matter. You have to train specifically for that sport. In next category, or next bullet point here, load strength. Now, I said over here strength too, didn't I? Load strength means now you're loading your body more. Because as an athlete, you're running, you're jumping, running up and down a basketball court, you're on the wrestling mat, you're in the boxing ring, you're in the football field, you're on the ice hockey rink. You're loading your body. People are running into you. You're falling, you're jumping, you're running, you're sprinting. It's very, very competitive and sometimes very, very aggressive. So you have to load your body more when you're doing strength training exercises. And the same applies to movement patterns. You have to load your body. Directional change. East, west, north, south, jump, accelerate, decelerate. Those all are very aggressive type of movement patterns that unless you train that way, if you try to play a sport, if you're not accustomed to that from a neuromuscular perspective, you will become injured. Or you won't be as effective as an athlete. So you got to train that way. Over here, you don't have to do that. Nutrition is important also for the athlete. Put the right fuel in the system. You got to do it, guys. Sleep. Your body makes growth hormones when you're sleeping at night. That's crucial. You're building muscle. You're recovering. You're regenerating. Supplements, once again. Now, the difference between a person training for competitive sports versus a person training just for life functions is that over here you're taking supplements just to survive, just to function. Over here, you might be taking supplements to increase your performance because you want to put on more muscle, because you want to run faster, because you want to lift more weight, because you want to have more power, more strength. So it's a little bit different over here versus over here. And another big difference between sports training and life function training, you're more performance driven. You're training for, once again, a specific type of sport. So guys, I hope that kind of makes sense to you about the difference of training as an athlete, a competitive athlete, versus training as a recreational, more occupational athlete. Now let's say you're a recreational athlete is someone who's kind of in between occupational and competitive. You're just training for life function as an occupational athlete. And over here, you're a very elite athlete, training for the Olympics. But let's say, even over here in this category, once in a while you want to do a Tough Mudder run, or you want to do a warrior dash, or you want to do a triathlon, you want to play a pickup game of basketball for a couple of months in a league. You've got to dip in over here just a little bit to train this way. Okay? That doesn't mean you're going to spend 8 hours a day doing this. When I worked for the Kansas City Chiefs as an assistant strength coach, those guys would get there at 7 o'clock in the morning and wouldn't leave till 5 o'clock in the evening. They spent the entire day in the athletic facility watching film, training, practicing, stretching. That was their job. If you're not a professional athlete or a collegiate athlete, your job is not to do all of these things. But let's say you want to train for some sort of event once in a while, you've got to find yourself a good trainer like myself, and you got to find the right way to plug some of this into this so the two can mesh together. But that's where the rubber meets the road. You got to find yourself a good trainer. There are some trainers who are very good at training sports performance, and there are some trainers who are very good at training more for general fitness and weight loss and muscle tone. You've got to find the right trainer who is specific to what you want to accomplish, over here or over here. I myself do both. Guys, I hope this has been helpful to you. Contact me, please, if you have any information. I really appreciate your membership, too, by the way. This has been Roberto Parker with SSAQ and GLGT. Contact me at 816-405-7703. Email rwpsports@yahoo.com if you have any questions. Take care. God bless. Bye-bye.